The psychology of old people who understand life better than most people. Old people, they understand life. Not because they are smarter, not because they studied more. It's because they've lived it. They've seen things, felt things. They've carried memories that never fade. You will notice they are often quiet, not empty, just thinking, remembering, feeling. Sometimes their eyes wander. Sometimes they smile for no reason, or maybe they frown. Small things stir memories, a smell, a sound, a gesture, and their mind travels back to moments younger people rush past. They notice small things, a neighbor's pause, a friend's sadness, a subtle gesture, a tear that almost falls. Younger people miss it. They are too busy, too fast. But older adults, they see, they feel. Even the smallest things speak loud. Regret walks quietly with them, not loud, not angry. It hides in habits, in routines, in avoiding people, places, memories. It's protection. The mind learns. Some things cannot be fixed. And slowly, acceptance grows. A life spent learning. Pain is part of living, but life continues anyway. Memory changes, names fade, places fade, but feelings, they linger. The warmth of a smile, the sting of betrayal, the smell of home. Stories carry more than facts. Older people tell stories because stories hold life. All its lessons, joys, mistakes, love, and loss. Loneliness is a teacher. Ours alone may feel empty at first, then understanding grows. Reflection, seeing patterns in life, realizing what matters and what doesn't. Sometimes, peace is found in silence. Even the quiet brings something alive. Fear changes with age. Fear of failing diminishes. Fear of being ignored grows. Many older adults worry that life will pass without recognition. That is why they hold on to family, to memories, to small acts of love, letters, stories, photographs, little marks that say, I was here, I mattered. Patience comes naturally with age. Storms pass, trends fade, anger fades, pain shifts. Time teaches slowly but surely, and with it, a calm grows. Not weakness, but wisdom. Love changes too. It becomes deeper, quieter, not simpler, but refined. They have lost love. They have felt betrayal. They have learned fleeting passion does not last. Now love is about presence, being there, small gestures, holding hands, not needing to prove anything, just being. Habits reveal the inner world. Tea in the morning, a quiet walk, reading in a favorite chair. Some avoid crowds. It may seem rigid, but it is comfort. Control in a world that feels too fast. Routines anchor the mind. They provide safety, familiarity, continuity. Family matters deeply. Distance, conflicts, old wounds. Some linger forever, but older adults focus on what they can change. They forgive. Listen. Peace becomes more valuable than being right. Sometimes they speak softly because words carry weight now. Every word matters. Every pause matters. Curiosity quietly lives on. Reading, watching, listening, asking questions, not for answers, but to reflect. Life rarely gives answers anyway. The questions themselves teach patience and empathy. Death feels closer now, but they are not always afraid. Loss has been faced. Friends, loved ones, memories, gone. Life is finite. This understanding makes small joys bigger, worries smaller, moments feel sharper. A warm cup of tea, a bird singing, the smell of rain, the laugh of a grandchild. These things suddenly matter more. Older adults notice how younger people rush, chasing speed, success, accumulation, always moving, always distracted, stress, anxiety, fear, clouding their minds. Older adults step back, observe, feel. Richness comes from noticing, not doing. Silence is understood, reflective silence. Truth often lives there. Self, others, life, Stories matter. Life is a tapestry. Younger people may rush past, but lessons are in pauses, soft moments, small gestures, the weight of what is felt. Regret teaches, but so does gratitude. Older adults notice what remains, not only what is lost. Kind words, warm meals, shared laughter, even a brief smile can be enough. Time sharpens appreciation. Everything becomes more precious. Older adults accept life's unpredictability. They have adapted, changed repeatedly. They have survived storms, loss, mistakes, calm reactions, measured words, thoughtful decisions. Friendships deepen. Superficial bonds fade. True friends remain. They matter most. Stories are shared, not for attention, but to pass wisdom, lessons in emotion, behavior, human nature. Younger listeners, if they pause, can learn insights no book can teach. Life's complexity becomes clear. People are rarely fully good or bad. Circumstances shape behavior. Older adults develop empathy, rooted in experience. Rituals anchor life. Tea at the same hour, walks in the morning, reading in a favorite chair. Continuity brings comfort. Order amid uncertainty. Fear of being forgotten lingers. They write, share, create, evidence that life mattered, yet meaning is also found in small moments, even if the world forgets tomorrow. And slowly, they understand life, not perfectly, not completely, but deeply. They have learned to see clearly, to feel deeply, to notice quietly, to forgive, to love without noise, and to cherish the moments that truly matter. Old people, they understand life, not because they know everything, but because they have lived it fully, with pain, with joy, with love, with loss, and they are still watching, still feeling, still learning. Old people often watch the world quietly. They notice how time moves differently for everyone. Some rush, some linger, some waste it, some cherish it. They have learned life cannot be controlled. You cannot force people to feel, to change, to understand. You can only observe and choose how you respond. Many older adults enjoy small routines. A morning walk, a cup of tea, reading the same page in a book. These routines are not boring. They are grounding. They keep the mind steady when the world feels chaotic. They remember things younger people forget, not because they study more, but because the memory carries feeling, the way someone laughed, the way someone looked when they were afraid, the warmth of a hand held too briefly. These are the details life is made of. Regret still comes sometimes. It does not shout, it whispers, it hides in quiet moments. When the house is empty or the street is silent, older adults feel it. But they have learned to sit with it, to let it pass, to turn it into understanding. Many feel a sense of peace, not always, but often. It comes from seeing life in patterns. Pain comes and goes. Joy comes and goes. People make mistakes. They forgive themselves. They forgive others. Love changes too. Older adults love differently. They love more slowly, more deeply, less needing, less demanding. They know what lasts and what fades quickly. Friendship becomes rare and precious. The friends who remain are chosen carefully. Not many survive the tests of time. The bonds that do are deeper than youth can imagine. They carry shared memories, shared pain, shared laughter. Older people often notice younger ones rushing, chasing success, chasing approval, chasing what they cannot keep. They see the worry, the stress, the hurry, and they understand it. They feel a quiet sadness, but also a gentle compassion. Memory is strange. They forget some things, but remember others forever. A small kindness, a moment of injustice, a word said long ago, echoes still. These echoes guide behavior. They teach lessons quietly. Silence is no longer uncomfortable. It is full. It carries reflection. It carries truth. Older adults have learned you can hear more in silence than in speech. They notice patterns in people. They see anger before it erupts. They sense sadness before it is spoken. They feel fear before it is named. This understanding is not magical. It is earned. It comes from time, from watching, from feeling. Many older adults have daily rituals. They wake at the same time. They eat familiar foods. They avoid unnecessary change. It is not stubbornness, it is survival. The mind needs anchors when the body feels weaker. They think about death, not constantly, but sometimes, and they are less afraid than younger people. They have seen it, they have touched it, and they know it is part of life. This awareness sharpens what is left. Moments feel brighter, connection feels deeper. Some older adults live in paradox. They crave solitude, but fear loneliness. They want conversation, but cherish silence. They understand contradiction. They balance reflection with action. They know life is rarely simple, and they have accepted it. Stories become important, not for entertainment, not for fame, but for meaning. Stories hold lessons. They hold pain. They hold joy. They preserve memory and pass wisdom quietly. Older adults often forgive more easily, not because they are weak, but because they have seen too much to cling to anger. They have lived through mistakes and learned that peace is more valuable than being right. Curiosity remains, even in old age. They ask questions, sometimes for answers, sometimes just to think, to reflect, to notice, to feel. They watch nature closely, a tree changing with seasons, a bird landing on the windowsill, a cloud moving slowly across the sky. Small moments hold lessons, and joy, and connection. Older adults are often gentle. They speak softly, not because they are weak, but because their words carry weight. Every phrase matters. Every pause counts. They notice effort in others. They see kindness, even when subtle. They sense struggle, even when hidden. They understand, because they have struggled too. Fear changes. They fear less the wrong choice. They fear more being invisible, being forgotten, being unheard. That is why memory, stories, connection become precious. Older adults are patient. They have learned to wait, to let time unfold, to let others grow, to let pain fade, and joy linger. Some older people become teachers, quietly, not formally, not with a classroom, but through example, through story, through attention. Life becomes distilled. They notice what matters and what does not. They know love matters, connection matters, time matters, patience matters. Older adults understand life, not perfectly, not fully, but deeply. They have lived through the highs and the lows, and they are still learning. They hold memories of love lost, of joy found, of pain endured, and lessons learned. And slowly, they teach the world, without shouting, without commanding, just living and noticing and sharing, softly, the quiet wisdom of experience. Older people understand patience in a way younger people cannot. They have waited for life to unfold, for children to grow, for pain to fade, for love to arrive, sometimes late, sometimes never. And still, they wait, calmly, quietly. They notice the little things, the way sunlight falls on a wall, the sound of footsteps on a wooden floor, the smell of tea brewing, a neighbor's laugh across the street. Small moments, but they are everything. Time feels different for them. Hours stretch, minutes linger. A day can feel both long and short. They notice the subtle changes. A friend's slow smile, a loved one's quiet sigh, the shift in a voice. These are signals. Life speaks in whispers, and older adults, they listen. Memories guide them, not just facts, but feelings. The way a hug once felt, the way a harsh word cut, the way a promise was kept or broken. Emotions linger longer than events, and older adults carry them with care. They understand fear, not the fear of failure, but the fear of being forgotten, of becoming invisible. This fear is quiet, a shadow in the mind. It motivates them to write, to speak, to share, to leave something behind, even if small, even if unnoticed. Older adults learn to forgive, not because it is easy, but because it is necessary. Holding anger, holding pain, it weighs heavy. Forgiveness lightens the heart. It brings peace, even if others never apologize. Love changes shape. It becomes quieter, more deliberate. It is less about desire and more about presence. A warm hand, a gentle word, a shared cup of tea. These gestures speak louder than words. Friendships are treasured. Few remain, but those that do are deep, honest, unshakable. Superficial ties fade. True bonds endure. Older adults invest in those who matter and let the rest go. They understand the value of silence, not emptiness, but reflection, listening, watching, feeling. Silence can teach more than conversation. It can reveal truth and understanding. Older adults watch the young. They notice the rush, the obsession with speed, success, accumulation. Stress and worry cloud judgment. They do not judge, they observe. They feel compassion, sometimes sadness, sometimes amusement. Routine provides comfort. Tea at the same hour, a daily walk, reading in a favorite chair. Rituals anchor them. They create order. When the body feels uncertain, when the world moves too fast, death is understood, not feared, not always. They have seen it. They have touched it. They know it is part of life. This awareness sharpens every moment, every laugh, every connection, every small joy. Older adults carry contradictions. They seek solitude, but fear loneliness. They crave conversation, but cherish silence. They balance reflection with action. They accept complexity. They know life is rarely simple and have made peace with it. Stories become a lifeline, not to entertain, not to impress, but to teach, to pass wisdom quietly, to preserve memory, to hold lessons of life, love, pain, and joy. They notice kindness, even when small. They see struggle, even when hidden. They understand, because they have lived through it too. Older adults are observers of human nature. They see anger before it rises, sadness before it shows, fear before it is spoken. This skill is earned, not magical. It comes from watching, feeling, enduring. They measure time differently. A moment can be long or short, but its weight remains. A small smile, a gentle touch, a shared memory. These moments become treasures. Older adults find beauty where younger people might not see it, in fading light, in quiet streets, in ordinary moments. Life is not about grand events, but depth of feeling. They know this, they live this. Memory guides their actions. Regret teaches, gratitude teaches more. They notice what remains, not only what is lost. Every kindness, every laugh, every shared moment matters. They understand life's unpredictability. They have adapted repeatedly. They have survived loss, mistakes, sorrow. They are steady, measured, calm. Older adults teach, not always intentionally, sometimes silently, sometimes through story, sometimes through example. Their lives are lessons. They notice depth in people. They feel more than they speak. They listen more than they talk. They act only when necessary. Older adults understand life, not fully, not perfectly, but deeply. They see patterns. They feel connections. They forgive. They love quietly. They value what truly matters. And slowly, they pass on this wisdom through stories, through presence, through patience, through the subtle art of living. Old people carry time in their bones, every line on their face, every slow step, every pause holds a story, a lesson, a memory. They notice the little things, the way sunlight catches dust in a room, the sound of a door closing, the quiet rhythm of the day. These small moments hold more meaning than words can express. They understand impermanence. People leave, things fade, life changes. They have seen it again and again. This awareness does not make them sad, always. It makes them careful, grateful, aware. Older adults know the value of listening, not just hearing words, but noticing pauses, tears, a faltering voice, a moment of hesitation. They understand more from what is unspoken than what is said aloud. They forgive, not because it is easy, but because carrying anger is heavy. They have learned. Peace matters more than being right. Every hurt they let go lightens the heart. Love becomes presence, a hand held gently, a meal shared, a memory recounted. It is not loud, it is not dramatic, but it lasts because it is steady, it is constant. They notice the world rushing by, young people chasing speed, chasing success, chasing things they cannot keep. Older adults watch quietly. They do not judge. They feel compassion. They understand that life cannot be hurried. Memory guides them. Emotions shape them. They remember joy and pain alike. Every kindness, every betrayal, every fleeting moment becomes part of who they are. Silence is their teacher, reflection, their companion. Even an empty room is full of thought, feeling, understanding. They watch human nature closely. They sense fear, sadness, anger. Before it is spoken, they know patterns. They recognize repetition. They feel empathy deeply because they have lived it themselves. Rituals anchor them. Tea in the morning, a walk in the evening, reading quietly. These rituals give them continuity. When the body weakens, when the world feels too fast, they think of death, not constantly, but not with fear alone. They have touched loss before. They have buried friends. They have said goodbye. They know it is part of life. This understanding makes the present sharper, more alive. Older adults balance paradox. They crave solitude, but fear loneliness. They seek conversation, but cherish silence. They live with contradictions and accept complexity. Stories become lifelines, not to impress, not to entertain, but to preserve meaning. Lessons of love, pain, growth, passed quietly to those who listen. They notice kindness, even when it is small. They feel struggle, even when hidden. They understand, because they have struggled too. Time teaches them humility. Life teaches patience. Experience teaches understanding. They see patterns. They notice depth. They forgive. They love quietly. They treasure moments because they know how fleeting they are. Older adults understand the value of presence, being with someone, really listening, sharing a moment. It matters more than anything else. They have learned to let go of trivial worries, to focus on what truly matters, to forgive, to appreciate, to cherish, to love without noise. Life's complexity does not frighten them. They have survived storms. They have endured loss. They have embraced change. They are calm, steady, aware, and slowly, they pass their wisdom quietly through stories, through gestures, through presence, through patience, through the subtle art of living fully with awareness and compassion. Old people, they understand life, not perfectly, not completely, but deeply. They notice the small. They feel the unseen. They love steadily. They forgive softly. They value connection. They cherish moments. And in the end, they teach us this: life is not about rushing, not about chasing or winning. It is about noticing, feeling, loving, remembering, being present, even in silence. Old people understand life because they have lived it in all its fullness: pain and joy, love and loss, regret and gratitude. They have seen it all, and they are still here, watching, feeling, understanding, and quietly showing us the way.